In this video, let's look into Fabric Data Pipeline. What is Fabric Data Pipeline? So basically, it's a logical grouping of activities that orchestrates and automate data workflows. It is used for some simple tasks like copying, transforming, loading data. Also, it can be used for orchestrating complex data ingestion and processing tasks as well. Data pipelines are used to orchestrate data ingestions and transformation tasks. Some of the features of Fabric Data Pipeline are scheduling, error handling, monitoring, integration with data flow, integration with notebooks, plus many more. Now, I'll show you in the demonstration the capabilities of data pipeline. This is just a screenshot of how the data pipeline looks like. So it has got an orchestration design interface, and there is a configuration interface. So you can drag and drop various components which are known as activities, and then you can configure, you can connect individual components, and then you validate and run the pipeline. So let's jump into the demo. So over here, I am in app.powerbi.com. So I'll navigate to Power BI. From here, I already have a workspace. So I've got this Girish workspace created. So I'll navigate to the my workspace. And now from here, I'll be able to create pipeline. Now from a pipeline perspective, like if I want to create, I'll click on new item. And then from here, I will be presented with a screen. Now I have an option to navigate to all items of favorite. There's nothing in my favorite, but if I go into all items, I'll be able to see all the items like dashboard, exploration, graph model, graph query set, map. So all these things are available. Now, if you see under get data, you have something called as pipeline. So this is the one which we are exploring currently. I have an option to favorite this as well. So I'll just favorite this, and then that should technically appear in the favorite. I'll click on pipeline, and then it will ask me to create a pipeline. So I'll call it as, maybe it's a Christmas month, so I'll call it as Christmas pipeline. Now remember, this Power BI Fabric is not only for the data and AI related aspects, but then you can technically use it to transfer data from your Power Apps as well. You can use Power Automate to trigger the pipeline. So I'm going to cover that in my series of videos. But first, let's build a pipeline to organize and move your data. So as you see over here, this is the screen. Now I have an option to start with a blank canvas pipeline activity, or I can start with a guidance with a copy data assistant with sample data and with some templates. Let's go blank. Now here it will ask me what kind of activity you want to perform. Like, do you want to do a copy data? Do you want to copy the job? Data flow, delete data, look up from a metadata and validation perspective, get the metadata. Then there are some control components like if condition, switch, filter, wait, for each, until, set variable, append variable, fail. There are some orchestration related component like the invoking of the pipeline, webhook, Azure Databricks function. So the capability is endless. Yeah, and you can see some new notifications in terms of Teams, Office 365 email, and the transformation. So I can just click on pipeline activity over here, and then I'll say I want to use copy data. Now what happens is, like, this is the copy data component. This component, basically you can delete the value from here. So I'll go ahead and delete it. Now if it goes disappears, don't worry, in the toolbar you already have all these things. So copy data. Now I can just say copy data, add to canvas. Now in the canvas, again I have added copy data. I can view the source code. So this is the JSON source code for that specific activity. Then I can clone it. So if I click on it, I can create multiple copies of it. So as you see over here, I've created multiple copies, and you can drag and drop this copy. If I click again on this, I have an option to add an activity. So I'll add an activity, and I'll say again I want to do a copy data. Now the moment you do that, as you see over here, it has connected this copy data with this copy data. Now, how did I do that? I clicked here, I clicked on here, and I say I want the next activity to be something else. So add activity, and then I'll say copy data, and then it has connected this. Now, what if I want to connect these two components? Now, for that also, that's simple. On success. So if you see the stick, that's on success. If you see this cross, is on fail. So if on success, I want to connect to this copy data, I can take this arrow and then put it over here. From here, on failure, I want this to be done here, right? Similarly, I can go ahead and add to canvas another copy data. And then let's see if I can connect another component. Yes, I can do that as well. So you can mix and match all this combination, and then this is how your canvas will look like. If the canvas grows too big, you have an option to zoom in the canvas, zoom out. You can change the size of your graph node to fit inside this canvas, or you can auto align. So if you do an auto alignment, then you can see that it has automatically structured itself. So that's about this component. So let's go ahead and remove other components. So I'll just delete all the things. Now let's focus on copy data for a moment. Now I can zoom it, I can unzoom it. Now from copy data, here we have the parameters on in the bottom. Like if you see copy data, so there is general, description, activity state. I want this to be activated or deactivated. So as you see over here, it changes to deactivated state. Timeout, retry, advance. Now, in copy data, we need to tell what is the source and what is the destination. So I can click on source and then I can establish a connection. Now I've already established connection with my Dataverse environment. I can do a connection with other various source as well. So if I click on browse all, I can do a copy data from multiple data sources to multiple data sources. Now these are the list of data sources like the SQL Server, OData, Oracle, Dataverse, SharePoint, Azure SQL. And if I click on view more, I'll be able to see a nice categorization. So I have the likes of Oracle, Azure, MariaDB, Cassandra, MongoDB, Snowflakes. So you can categorize by file, database, Power Platform, Azure, online services, and other. So multiple data source to select from. If I you already have connected to one data source, I in my case it is Dataverse, so I can select this Dataverse. Then it will ask me what connection do you want. Do you want D365, AX, or CRM, or Dataverse? I'll select Dataverse. You have an option to even write a query as well. So I can write a fetch XML query, and I have an option to add additional columns over here as well. Same options you need to do at the destination side. So I'll pick up one environment, I can go into Dataverse, and then I'll say I can pick up the entity name as well. So I can type here the entity name, and then it should load that entity name over here, and then I should be able to process it further. Now I have an option to preview the data as well. So if I go ahead and preview the data, it will actually go into the destination, query the destination data source, and then it will give me the preview of the data set. So this is how you can do that. So that's all about one of the activities. So like that, there are many activities. Now in the menu item, we have save. So I can save this pipeline. I can, so I'll just close all this message. So I can save this pipeline. I can save as, so I can save it as a different pipeline. So I can, you have one invalid activity, save the pipeline, you can fix or deactivate that activity. So I think this copy data we haven't configured correctly, that's why it is giving us an error. We have an option to export. Now if I click on export, what it will do, it will export this pipeline. Okay, so let me cancel this off, let me delete this. So I'll choose right click and delete it. Let me click on copy data, and here I will cancel this off, click on export. I have an option to export this as well. Okay, now once you export, what happens is you will be getting a zip file which will have a JSON source file and a manifest source file. You have an option to import the uh, pipeline as well. You can instead of starting from scratch, you can use a template. So here in template there are so many templates like bulk copy from database, bulk copy from files to database, delete files older than 30 days, copy new files only by last modified date. So like that, there are so many templates over here, and you can even filter this template by SQL, pipeline, copy, transform, semantic model, etc. Let me X out of this. And now once your pipeline is ready, so let me open one pipeline. So this is a pipeline which I created for dataverse transfer, and it's a simple pipeline. So as you see over here, it's a simple pipeline. I added a lot of other things over here. So let me just show you by arranging it properly. So yeah, these are the different pipelines which I have created, which with different components. Now I can navigate to the other pipeline which I created just now, Christmas pipeline over here. And now from here, I can go ahead and add various other component. So before I add any component, I will show you what all options we have. We have copy data, we have use copy assistant. So assistant will guide us in a wizard based approach on which data source is destination, which is source, map to destination, and then review and save. Or I have an option to add copy job. I have an option to add data flow. I have an option to add notebook, lookup, invoke a different pipeline which you have created. So I've already created one pipeline named as Girish pipeline. So I can go ahead and invoke a pipeline. So in the settings, as you see, we need to specify which connection are you going to use, which workspace. So Girish workspace has one pipeline, so Girish pipeline. So I can select this, and then this will be connected. Or I can select the type as Azure Data Factory or Synapse Analytics. Now that's about all the menu item which you see over here. However, it is there are many more menu items. So if I click on activity, I have an option to copy data, copy job, data flow, notebook, get metadata, lookup. I can even add a script as well. So as you see over here, I have an option to add a script. Go into the settings, establish a connection, and then even I can write some formulas as well. So I'll use dynamic content. I can go ahead and pick up system variables, trigger parameters, or a function. So I can see the collection function, conversion function, date function, logical function, etc. So I can even use that within my formula. Then I can trigger a stored procedure. So again, this is like a SQL based concept. I have to select the connection and select the stored procedures. I can set a variable. So if I want to set any variable, I can put an if condition. So as you see over here, it has added this if condition over here, right? So I can add that if condition as well within the logical grouping. Then we have for each. So I can use for each. So this is all programming construct which will help us build the solution. Then I can click on web. Then this will help us connect to a web component as well. Then we have invoke pipeline, and the interesting part is this one, the notification part. So if I click on Office 365 email, so as you see over here, this is that component, Office 365 email, which will help you to send an email. So I'll click on settings, and then here you can specify to subject line, body line, and then some advanced feature like from CC, BCC, reply to, etc. Then I can even send a notification to Teams. So I need to sign into Teams. This is in the preview state. So as you see over here, this is a Teams preview feature. Click on settings. You just need to sign in, and then you will be able to send a Teams message. Additionally, we have something called a semantic model refresh. So you can do a semantic model refresh directly from within the pipeline. So if you focus on this, I'll just do a quick zoom to show you that there is a semantic model refresh. And you click on settings, and then you select the connection workspace, and then which semantic model do you want to refresh. So I have got one semantic model, so I can use that to refresh. Then we have Databricks. So I can add Azure Databricks, and then I can use that activity to connect to a data brick. Then menu option gets open, notebook, jar, Python job, specify the notebook path, and then execute it within the pipeline. So like that, there are so many other things. So if you see in the control flow, we have set variable, append variable, until, do until, fail, web hook. So there is a web hook as well. So if you do not have a specific connector, you can use web hook to connect to a web service or API. And then other features like Azure HD Insight, Azure Batch. So these all things are the capability of pipeline. Now once you build all this pipeline, what are the activities? Like say what happens is, like when you I'll show you the pipeline which I've created. In this pipeline I ran couple of times. So if you want to see what was the status when it ran, so if you go into run, you click on view run history. So here you will see this pipeline has been failed long time, and it succeeded 5 or 6 times. So you can see the recent runs. You can go to monitor, so you can monitor. So again, this is a different service, so you can actually monitor individual pipeline and see what has happened within that pipeline. So you can retry it, you can view the details, or you can even say see the information. You can export this information, and then it will be added into like say Excel or a CSV file format, and then you can further process it. Right, so let's go back to the pipeline. Now here in the pipeline, I can run this pipeline on a frequency. So schedule, I can run this, I can add a schedule and say I want to run this pipeline every minute or hour or daily or weekly or monthly, or maybe specify start date time, end date time, and specify the time zone as well. Endorsement, this pipeline can be endorsed or promoted so that this pipeline is available for other people's use. So you can endorse the quality content to help colleagues discover it. And in the view option, you have an option to edit the JSON code. So you get to see the entire pipeline in a code, and you can go ahead and make the code change over here. So see, I'm typing over here, and then you can make that code change. So I'll just scroll and show it to you. This is like an equivalent JSON representation of your pipeline. So I'll just cancel this off, discard changes. And again, this one we have already seen: auto align, zoom to fit, zoom 100%, zoom 200%. So like this, we can uh, perform that activity on the canvas itself. So that's it, folks. This is all about pipeline within Fabric. Thanks for watching.